Some homemade queso dip.
It's your favorite album. Only your favorite. Honestly. To you. Yeah. Never been the same. I found a little chain. Now split it with a gang. Oh. Cleaned up the things. Made it all plain. On your wood, everything. Oh. Speed stay the same. You walking in my lane and tripping on the thing. Oh. I found it low. Ain't been the same. 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 Ain't been the same, ain't been the same, yeah. Yeah, ain't been the same, ain't been the same. I keep pulling these strings. Baby, I'm a prince, that's the son of a king. Presidential players gotta feel it over game. My boys ain't my son, but they took a Billy Jean. Sweet, sweet kissing like I'm working at a hearse. Hurries in the house, but a brother never churches. Gotta keep the law, little fella, that's a man though. God need cheese speakers looking like a sand, yo. All that cap, they should open up the lids. Whole lot of swears, gotta put it on the grid. Count this shine every day like a lighthouse. Fall trying to ride a every wave, that's a wipeout. Heavy with the play, trip water on the split splash. Man got it on point, that's a mismatch. Yeah, made it out the basement, lifetime since, and I did make a statement. Right this ball with the men, can't escape this. Every wise man know your who, where the safe is. Three set apart, yeah, the world so basic. Home run flow, ain't no use to run basics. Running for the kingdom, now they calling me a racist. Straighten up, talk like I got a pair of braces. Yeah, got up out the matrix, handful of script, told Morpheus to take it. Young baby, young man, well, the get suit. Sim got a 1X looking like a big suit. Call my number, I ain't scared to take a big shot. No trick shot, but I try to let you go try it. You can get Instagram, keep a good face, full of no hot trap, no hot face. Got these tattoo free, man, never lag. Got this rule, I best I ever had. Never been the same, I'm trying to chain down, split it with a gang. Clean up the same,
Did I say that right? Sadara, yeah,
ain't been the same, ain't been the same. Ain't been the same, ain't been the same. Ain't been the same, ain't been the same. Ain't been the same, ain't been the same.
Sister Francesca, she wrote the Houston Brew. So the Houston Brews, the Houston Brew, y'all the same? Like y'all connected, or if not, Shabbat Shalom anyway.
Every day I pray for y'all.
We all good. He might no complaints. No complaints. I hope all is well with you and the family.
Pray for myself.
Wherever you are, Emo, one love.
12 trials. Hoping you stay alive. Keeping these commandments on the rise. Could I see fire in your eyes?
Real laid back class tonight, y'all. Gonna kick back, get comfortable.
The pain you go through, I know you see everything. Hoping the things always change, but it be going for the worst. You know we going in that hurts. 6 feet in the dirt. Where is your soul go? I wanna know. In a midnight hour, yeah.
Jay, what's up, bro? Shabbat shalom.
In the midnight hour, yeah. The most I'll be calling me. In the midnight hour, yeah. The most I'll call to me.
Turn this up right here, boy. This is jam right
here. Every day I cry for you, cry for my brother, cry for my sister. The whole 12 tribes, you need to know who you are, 'cause you're a star, you don't ever change, they know that he's always there, yeah. The most High comes to me, in the midnight hour, yeah. The most I'll be calling me in the midnight hour, yeah. The most I'll call to me over and over and over again.
Like one more song. Let get some people some more time to get settled in.
Yeah, yeah, super. Hey. The ever loving, the ever living, the all forgiving. Place your burdens at his feet, then they good bit. The ever loving, the ever living, the all forgiving. Place your burdens at his feet, they gone good written. The ever loving, the ever living, the all forgiving. Place your burdens at his feet, they gone good written. The ever loving, the ever living, the all forgiving. Place your burdens at his feet, they gone good written. That yoke light, I'm walking featherly. Got that Nazarene torch, now you looking at a better me. Reverend brothers that's correcting me. You know a fool, hate reproof, get your thoughts off the stoop. Man up a liar, he gon' hold you liable for your works and your deeds, keep that mud off of me. I bathe in that water daily, he never fails me. The roots in this book way deeper than Alice Hayes' head. The ever loving, the ever living, the all forgiving. Place your burdens at his feet, then they good written. The ever loving, the ever living, the all forgiving. Place your burdens at his feet, they gone good written. The ever loving, the ever living, the all forgiving. Place your burdens at his feet, they gone good written. The ever loving, the ever living, the all forgiving. Place your burdens at his feet, they gone good red. They playing with him, they gon' get this manner. I here trying to play her man, she had to take the same blood path. I hope you know they won't get mad at me. You know receive what you sow, won't let that push where you standing at. He flip the script cause he an acrobat. Push with the bottom, not the top, and the top is the flop. Voice, he ain't gotta go horse. Tune in to the whisper, if you sleep, you get a mission. It's the ever loving, the ever living.
I'm gonna get up with you this weekend, big trial, and listen to the all right there.
Mm-hmm. All praise, honor, and magnificent glory is unto our Elohim, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Isaac, and the Elohim of Jacob, Yeshua HaMashiach. We coming back to set the record straight for Israel, because of Israel, and even between Israel. To our brothers and sisters in the faith, as always, we salute you. Those who are all the way in, because you got to be all the way in, my friend, and you got to take it to the end. With that, turn it over to the brethren.
Shabbat shalom, family. How y'all doing? It's good to see everybody again. Good to see everybody in the chat. We have about 30-some people in the chat. That's good. I'm Octi, aka the Young Lion. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let my brother introduce himself.
Shabbat Shalom, family, brother Isaias. Shabbat Shalom.
All right, family, let's get it. Y'all see what it is. We back with another Get It Off Your Chest Fridays. Y'all see what the title is, To Vote or Not to Vote Part 2, featuring Josephus. So it wasn't even gonna be no part 2. We was just gonna do what we did last week, and it was just gonna be what it was gonna be. But I'm on the plant. I had to work the next day, so that Saturday I'm on the plantation. I had to do 4 to 4, y'all. So, good thing about my job, though, I have a lot of downtime. So I'm sitting there chilling. I'm just like, all right, what can I read? I need to be reading. What can I read? So, start flipping through the scriptures. I was like, I couldn't settle on nothing on one. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to settle in on something,
Right.
And kind of was just bouncing around. So I said, man, let me get into some history. So I started reading some Philo. Couldn't really settle in there. Then I started reading Josephus. Wow, then it hit me. So what we gonna do tonight is this, y'all. We got up here featuring Josephus. And what we gonna do tonight, I could have did this one or two ways. I could have made it into like a class where it's a whole lot of scripture and history. But y'all would have been here all night long. So the other option was less scriptures, more history. You know what I'm saying? And that's the route we're gonna go tonight. Most of this class, y'all, is we're gonna be reading Josephus writing the Antiquities of the Jews. And what we're gonna be looking at tonight is we gonna and most high willing, we can end up going through most of them. We ain't gonna go through all of them. We can go through most of each administration or captivity we was under, each government that we was under, whether it was the Babylonians, the Romans, the Greeks, the Ptolemies, you know what I'm saying? Even the early Romans when the Hasmonean dynasty was still ruling. Right when the Pharisees started to form. And we gonna see that our people's mindset or disposition towards government, we're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at how that government operated with us, right? And just a few more other things. Amongst other things we gonna read about once we going through this Josephus, y'all. And hey, this ain't more so like our traditional class format. This is more so a chop session, just like last week. So you know what I'm saying? We pretty much, I got a few scriptures here sprinkled here and there, y'all. I got a few to start out. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, y'all, we just gonna be reading the history and then we just gonna be discussing what we read.
Tell our guys to put something in the chat. I gotta take care of business, but just tell them to put something in the chat. You hear me, brother Isaiah? Put something in the chat. I gotta get you back online, boy. I need you to put something in the chat.
Copy that.
Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you good. You good. All right, so let's go ahead and hit our few scriptures, right? Because remember what we talked about last week. You know what I'm saying? We saw the ancient mindset of our people, right? That they wasn't endorsing heathens in their government. In these governments that we're under in captivity, right? Yeah. We saw that our people was actually anticipating a violent overthrow of the Roman government when the Romans was ruling us, right? We read about how Isaiah 10, hey, it's a woe to those who pass unrighteous laws and decrees. You know what I'm saying? Then we went over there and read in Revelation 18. We're in Revelation 18. All the kings that you voting for to keep in power that you favor, they gonna be standing afar off when Babylon is destroyed, crying and fretting and looking for the smoke. You want to know why? Because they next.
Mm-hmm.
They next. Right. So our whole point last week was to show you the ancient mindset of our people towards government, first of all, and just the whole thing, like why as a conscious Israelite going through what all we went through last week in these scriptures, why would you even hassle yourself with that? Why would you even hassle yourself with that? And even more so after tonight when we read what we're gonna read. So Hebrew, let's go to the first scripture. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Because some of these people didn't forget what's going on. Some people, you know, they didn't forget. They didn't forget Hebrew. They didn't forget we amongst enemies. They think
That's
we
right.
amongst allies and
United States citizens.
you know these people. Hold on, let me get myself together over here, y'all. Deuteronomy 28 Hebrew. We're gonna start at verse 25, but let me get it on the screen first. Hope y'all, you know, chilling, kick back. This is pretty much a history class tonight, y'all. All right. Deuteronomy 28 Hebrew, read verse 25 through 31. And we're gonna skip.
Okay, so verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
It says, the Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. All right, keep reading, Hebrew.
Verse 26.
Yeah.
And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away.
Right. So at the bottom of 25, he said, and thou shalt be removed into all kingdoms of the earth. And then the very next verse, he says, your carcass is going to line the street. So even amongst your enemies at one point in time, they didn't give a damn if you were buried, if you had a proper burial.
That's right.
Keep reading, Hebrew. 27.
Verse 27. The Most High will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and scab, and with the emeralds, and with the scab, and with the itch whereof thou canst not be healed.
Go ahead.
The Most High shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
See that's talking about all your mental illnesses that go on in this community right here. The madness and the astonishment of heart. Hey, even blindness is a mental illness when you get in the spiritual side of it. Right? Go ahead, Hebrew 29.
And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee.
It's how you gonna grope at noonday. Right? We are people that we don't have no end game to nothing we do. We just do stuff.
Yeah.
Right? We start things and never finish them. Right? It says, and thou shalt be only oppressed. Remember, he said he gonna scatter you in all kingdoms amongst the earth. So in all kingdoms amongst the earth, he said you're gonna be only oppressed and robbed evermore. So you would never get your just due or just share in all these kingdoms of the earth where you scatter. And most of the times, and most of the times when it come to you, it's gonna be oppression. No matter who you vote for. Now we gonna get into a few administrations where they did right by Israel. Now if you gonna vote in 2024, then they should be copying that pattern,
right?
Because Cyrus was actually called by the Most High,
right?
And you know, you got people want to compare Trump to Cyrus.
Yeah, they sure do.
This man was called by the Most High, so Trump was called by the Most High.
Man, please.
Verse 30, Hebrew, go ahead.
Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them.
So basically, to sum up 30 and 31, all your resources is going into the hands of the people that rule over you. Right? It says, you shall plant a vineyard, but you shall not gather the grapes. They determine how many grapes you get out of your vineyard. Ain't that how it worked today?
Yes,
Uncle Sam determined how much money you get back when it's payday. You don't get everything you work for. I got to take mine off the top first. And the bigger the check, the more I take out.
Yes, sir.
They don't even do a set amount every paycheck.
No, we just random.
And hey, who can calculate that?
Look, I'd be cool with a set amount every paycheck. Okay, if I knew they were taking a set amount out every week, you know what I'm saying? That'd be cool. Man, look, these heathens, they play the game so cold. Take out a loan for $500, but when it's time to pay it back, put stupid interest on there.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? I know that's right, niece. Look, I ain't never voted Hebrew. Never will, you hear me? What verse we at, Hebrew? That was 31?
Yes, sir.
You finished 31. Let's jump down to 48. 48. Remember enemies now. Don't forget enemies. See, we don't forget that. We're going to read it again. Verse 48. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Most High shall send against thee.
Now you going. Now he's saying you going to work for the people that hate you. Go ahead.
In hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
In lack of all things. So amongst these people, no matter who's running it, you gonna be in lack. You would never have what you need to be a functional community of people. That's what that verse is saying right there. That's what it's saying.
And when
you unless voting can reverse this, can any candidate we vote for reverse this in 2024, Hebrew?
Negative, bro. I'm gonna tell you something. Even if they see your community doing well, they're gonna send one of their little operatives in there to kind of mess it up anyway, bro.
They're gonna infiltrate it and bring it out there. Because you know what? The indoctrination is on co-pilot that all Negroes see is money nowadays. Man, we don't stand a chance nowadays. Too money hungry. It is too indoctrinated, Hebrew. Too Babylonianized. Go ahead, Hebrew.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. The Most High shall bring a nation against thee from far from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies.
Like, so now a main characteristic of the nation or nations that he bring against you, especially Babylon, one of the main characteristics of an eagle is what? Pride. So he bringing a prideful nation. Ain't this the characteristic that the current king that runs this nation holds?
What's up, man?
I'm just saying now. You know, people want to speak highly of this guy, conscious Israelite. They want to endorse him, and you know, all this other man. Go ahead, but read 49. Then we're gonna jump down somewhere else.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Jump down to 55.
Verse 55.
Yep.
So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he hath nothing left him in the siege, and in the straitness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates.
There go that E word again. Let's skip down to 68.
Verse 68.
Mm-hmm.
And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again.
Mm-hmm.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Leviticus 26 and 17, Hebrew. Then we're going to get into our history. Leviticus 26 and 17. Let's see what y'all talking about in these comments. So she started voting a few years ago. All praises. My granddad told me stories. I bet there was some crazy, horrific stories. All praises.
When you were reading it, it kind of reminded me of my old neighborhood.
Yeah. He either made the game or they win. That's right, Ema. That's right. It's like, you know what voting, you know what a black person voting is? If you play video games, you had a younger sibling and they come in whining and talking about, I want to play. So you just want them to stop whining. So you hand them a joystick, but the joystick ain't connected to the game, it ain't hooked up or nothing.
Yeah.
And they think they playing. Right. They think they playing, but the joystick ain't even hooked up. You just gave them the controller just to shut them up. And they don't even recognize they controller not even on. That's what it looks like when black people vote to me.
All of a sudden moved on the screen.
Right. Yeah. If you want to know what voting look like, in my opinion, when black people do it, that's it right there. That's exactly what it is, Sister Shemai, the illusion of inclusion.
Yes, sir. Hallelujah, sister.
That's sis. All praises for
yes,
that.
Sir.
That's what that, especially when a conscious Israelite, like you really look crazy. You really look crazy. They let you in the game and then pay, but they paid the refs.
Ain't no winning.
They let you get a couple of first downs.
Right. You were complaining about not playing that. Okay, then we'll let you play. Come on, we'll let you play.
Right.
The refs already paid off though.
That's it, bro.
As soon as you make a touchdown, they calling it back.
Yeah, holding.
Yeah. I know that's right. The system is made up of two wings on the same bird. Yeah. Yeah. Now, what I will say, one side, it seems like one side intentionally, like they just outright want to make life harder for everybody else. And we know what side that is. That's them racist Republicans.
Well,
they just outright letting you know.
Malcolm X said it best, bro. The only difference between a wolf and a fox is a fox gonna come at you dead head on.
Yeah.
A wolf gonna come around there and play with you and play with you and play with you. But the end result, both of y'all still on the wolf and the fox's place.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And that's the only difference, but they are the same birds of a feather flock together. One just gonna come out and let you know we not passing no laws to help you niggas at all. Forget about it.
Right.
Democrat gonna say, well, we here to help the middle class, but we want all the gays. We gonna prioritize the gays.
That's right.
I mean, so either way, it don't benefit us in the long run because we gonna see tonight. Any king who did anything to oppose our laws or to try to drown our laws out, man, they had a serious issue on their hand with our people. Our people will go straight to the governors and be ready to fight to the death. They got swords drawn and everything. We gonna read tonight. It was just 10 random brothers in the time of Herod. Because Herod was terrible to us.
Patriarch.
The Jews hated Herod so bad. It was just 10 random brothers. One of them was blind. They tried to carry out an assassination attempt on Herod. But see, these are the things we don't read about because this is the day-to-day stuff that was happening during the reign of these kings, which the Bible can't put everything in one book.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's gonna be good for us to go here tonight. So we gonna get a good look of not, we're not gonna read all of it. We just gonna read certain excerpts because we'll be here all night.
So
but we're gonna get a good look at some of the day-to-day, what it was like under some of these governments for us.
He was, that brother, I ain't gonna say brother. Herod was crazy as back crap.
You ain't lying.
Crazy, man.
You ain't lying. All right, so family, what we finna do, we finna get into our history. All right, let me stop this. Share this. All right, so this website, Hebrew, what we finna read from is called, how you say it, Safaria?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And we finna find Josephus. Let's find Josephus down here. Here you go, right here. Antiquities of the Jews, y'all. This is what we're gonna be reading.
Hold this book up so they want to purchase. They'll know what
okay.
Like.
All right. Josephus. They probably. Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, y'all can see that. Boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Democrats and Republicans. Hey. All right, y'all. So the antiquity of the Jews, y'all, covers just about every time period you can think of. Even every time period that the Bible don't even mention.
Yeah.
Like right after Haman and Esther. Mm-hmm. He go into depth about what was going on in that time period. When Judas Maccabees and all them boys died out, the Hasmoneans, they had a whole dynasty that reigned, y'all. That a whole government amongst Israel that reigned after that. He going to that. He going to when we was under the Ptolemies. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures, the scriptures really don't touch on that. So we gonna read a little bit of that. He going to Cyrus and Darius and all that. So we finna go ahead and get into it, Hebrew. We're going to start at book 10. No, book 6. Book 10. And we're going to click on 6 right here. Can y'all see that? Do I need to blow that up? Yes, no, yes, no.
Yeah, it got a delay on my end. I can't see it yet.
All right.
No, I see it. It don't say the same thing on mine.
Where you at, Hebrew? What you talking about?
You in book 10? Okay,
I'm in book 10, yeah.
Okay, hold
on. Yeah, I can see it. It's just basic.
She said, please.
No.
All right, we at 150 now. This is 175. Let me see. 175, good. I need to go up a little bit more. Is yours reading the same Hebrew?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. So we're gonna read. Okay. It might not be separated the same. I'll let you know when to stop reading Hebrew. And so y'all, what we finna do? We finna go through different captivities, different administrations, and see what it was like. Like I said, we ain't gonna hit all on. We're gonna hit a few on them. I might keep doing this until we get through majority of them. Just, you know what I'm saying? This would be a good little change up on Friday nights, more so history than a traditional class. It'd be a nice little change of some time to do this. So here we go. We're gonna start with Nebuchadnezzar, y'all. And it says, I'm gonna read this subtitle and I'm gonna let my brew take it away. It says, how Nebuchadnezzar, when he had conquered the king of Egypt, made an expedition against the Jews and slew Jehoiakim and made Jehoiachin, his son, king. All right, so y'all, we just finna read through this and we just gonna discuss what we read.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it, Hebrew.
Okay, now in the 4th year of the reign of Jeconiah. All right.
My bad. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm tripping. My bad, y'all. All right, let's get it.
Now in the 4th year of the reign of Jeconiah, one whose name was Nebuchadnezzar, took the government over the Babylonians.
There go that G word right there, y'all. He took the what, Hebrew?
The government.
The government. Go ahead.
Over the Babylonians, who at the same time went up with a great army to the city of Carchemish, which was at Euphrates. Upon a resolution, he had taken a fight with Necho, king of Egypt, under whom all Syria was. And when Necho understood the intention of the king of Babylon, and that this expedition was made against him, he did not despise his attempt, but made haste with a great band of men to Euphrates to defend himself from Nebuchadnezzar. And when they had joined battle, he was beaten and lost many, 10,000s of his soldiers in the battle. So the king of Babylon passed over Euphrates and took all Syria, as far as Pelusum, excepting Judah. But when Nebuchadnezzar had already reigned 4 years, which was the 8th year of Jeconiah's government over the Hebrews.
Right, so we had our own government. We ain't even got that nowadays. We ain't even got that nowadays. We had our own government, own kings with our own laws.
Yeah, our own communities, brother.
Communities.
You can see it even in with Ezra and some of them. You can see how Israel, they didn't bother us with the government and how we officiated, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In our ceremonies. They just, hey, we was in captivity, but we had our own community, our own government, all that.
And then look,
Romans, you know.
we don't even have this liberty today, Hebrew, right? You know how when Rome reigned, this was like everybody, really. Rome reigned over us, right? But they still let us abide by our own laws.
Right.
Long as you pay the tribute.
Long as you pay the tribute. They let us have our feast days. We ain't even got that liberty nowadays.
No.
All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
But when Nebuchadnezzar had already reigned 4 years, which was the 8th year of Jeconiah's government over the Hebrews, the king of Babylon made an expedition with mighty forces against the Jews, and required tribute of Jeconiah, and threatened upon his refusal to make war against him. He was affrighted at his threatening, and brought his peace with money, and brought the tribute he was ordered to bring for 3 years.
We have some jellyback kings. Go ahead.
But on the 3rd year, upon hearing that the king of Babylonians made an expedition against the Egyptians, he did not pay his tribute. Was he disappointed of his hope, for the Egyptians durst not fight at this time. And indeed the prophet Jeremiah foretold every day how vainly they replied on their hopes from Egypt, and how the city would be overthrown by the king of Babylon.
Yep.
And Jeconiah, the king, would be subdued by him.
And that's Jeremiah 42, like verses 7 through 19, y'all.
Yeah.
That's what he referring to right there. Go ahead, Hebrew.
But what he thus spake proved to be of no advantage to them, because there were none that should escape. For both the multitude and the rulers, when they heard him, had no concern about what they heard, but being displeased at what was said, as if the prophet were a diviner against the king, they accused Jeremiah and popped him all in the face. And bringing him before the court, they required that a sentence and a punishment might be given against him. Now all the rest gave their votes for his
Hold on. What? They said the Bible don't talk about politics. What? It said now they gave all the rest of their votes.
Yeah.
Look, and look, they condemning the righteous man.
Yes, sir. And we know they put him in that miry pit down there, you know?
Yep. Go ahead, Hebrew.
But the elders refused, who prudently sent away the prophet from the court of the prison, and persuaded the rest to do Jeremiah no harm. For they said that he was not the only person who foretold what would come to the city, but that Micah signified the same before him, as well as many others, none of which suffered anything of the kings that then reigned, but were honored as the prophets of Elohim, who they mollified the multitude with these words, and delivered Jeremiah from the punishment to which he was condemned. And they gave him one piece of bread a day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when this prophet had written all his prophecies, and the people were fasting and assembled at the temple on the 9th month of the 5th year of Jeconiah, he read the book he had composed of his predictions of what was to befall the city and the temple and the multitude. Keep up with me, young lion. There you go. And when the rulers heard of it, they took the book from him and bid him and Baruch, the scribe, to go their ways, lest they should be discovered by one or another. But they carried the book and gave it to the king. So he gave order in the presence of his friends that his scribe should take it and read it. When the king heard what it contained, he was angry and tore it and cast it into the fire, where it was consumed. He also commanded that they should seek for Jeremiah and Baruch the scribe and bring them to him, that they might be punished. However, they escaped his anger. Ain't that sad, man?
Yeah.
Bring them to me for some, sad, man.
Wicked. Look, hey, so this king, what? He burning our scriptures.
Yeah.
Same way any others did.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So look, when we read, you're gonna be up under your enemies, people that hate you, man. They burning the scriptures. We know this is wicked government.
Yes, sir.
We know this is wicked government. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, go down for me.
Matter of fact, hold on. Let me read something real quick. I'm finna read Sirach 10. Let me read something. I lied about them scriptures. I'm gonna throw a few on them in there, man. We ain't just read. We still a Bible study class, man. All right, I'm gonna read Sirach 10 and 8, and it says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So the fact that all these kingdoms was prophesied to start and end let you know that they was wicked.
Come on, bro.
Even this kingdom got an end date.
Oh yeah.
So why vote for a kingdom that's inevitable? The fall is inevitable. All right, let's go. Let's keep reading here. Let's continue.
Okay.
All right, this the last little paragraph. When we finish this 3 right here, Hebrew, then we're gonna move on to something else. All right.
Okay.
All
so
right.
verse 3. Now a little time afterwards, the king of Babylon made an expedition against Jeconiah, whom he received into the city, and this out of fear of the foregoing predictions of this prophet, as supposing he should suffer nothing that was terrible, because he neither shut the gates nor fought against him. Yet when he was coming to the city, he did not observe the covenant he had made, but he slew such as were in the flower of their age, and such as were in the greatest dignity, together with their king Jeconiah, whom he commanded to be thrown before the walls without any burial, and made his son Jeconiah king of.
My bad, bro. I'm trying to pull it up on my phone so I can know. Yeah, my bad. I'm on it now. I got to pull it up. Go ahead.
The king of the country and of the city. He also took the principal persons in dignity for captives, 3,000 in number, and led them away to Babylon, among which was the prophet Ezekiel, when he had lived 36 years, and of them reigned 11. But Jeconiah succeeded him in the kingdom, whose mother name was Nehushta. She was a citizen of Jerusalem. He reigned 3 months and 10 days. Dang.
All right, we're finna go to the next. We're finna go to 10 and 7. 10 and 7, Hebrew. Right here in the subtitle, y'all, it says that the king of Babylon repented of making Jehoiachin king and took him away to Babylon and delivered the kingdom to Zedekiah. This king would not relieve what was predicted by Jeremiah and Ezekiel, but joined himself to the Egyptians, who when they came into Judea were vanquished by the king of Babylon. Also what befell Jeremiah. All right, Hebrew, you can pick that up at that one. Go ahead.
But a terror seized on the king of Babylon, who had given the kingdom over to Jeconiah, and that immediately he was afraid that he should bear him a grudge because of his killing his father, and thereupon should make the country revolt from him. Wherefore he sent an army and besieged Jeconiah in Jerusalem. But because he was of a gentle and just disposition, he did not desire to see the city endangered on his account. But he took his mother and kindred and delivered them to the commanders sent by the king of Babylon. What a man! Look at this.
That's crazy. Soft, right? So, man, look, that is crazy. It's crazy. My bad, family. I'm just not reading y'all comments. My bad too, but I just saw your comment, Hebrew. I'm all over the place. All right, let's get it, Hebrew.
And accepted of their oaths that neither should they suffer any harm, nor the city, which agreement they did not observe for a single year. For the king of Babylon did not keep it.
All right, so you got this king, he don't keep oaths.
Mm-hmm.
He don't do none of that.
Read my lips. No more new taxes. First thing you do, put taxes. Right.
You ain't ever lied.
Look, he
doing it nice.
So he establishing his kingdom by blood. And that's
on the innocent.
Yeah, on the innocent. And we know he really breaking our dietary law, because he's acting like an unclean animal. So the whole nature of this king is against the laws of our God.
Come on, bro.
All right, go ahead, bro.
But gave orders to his generals to take all that were in the city captives, both the youth and the handicraftsmen and hundreds, and bring them bound to him. Their number was 10,832. As also Jeconiah and his mother and friends. And when these were bound to him, they kept them in custody and appointed Jeconiah's uncle Zedekiah to be king, and made him take an oath that he would certainly keep the kingdom for him, and made no innovation, nor have any league or friendship with the Egyptians.
All right, so in the ancient world, you had the same thing to go on today. Nations building alliances with each other. You know what I'm saying? Negotiate. Hey, if you want this to happen for your nation, you got to break your alliance with this nation. This happens all the time today.
Yes, sir.
Happens all the time today. Nothing's new. All right, 2, Hebrew. Go ahead and go to 2.
Now Zedekiah was 21 years old when he took the government, and had the same mother with his brother Jeconiah, but was a despiser of justice and of his duty. Man, for truly those of the same age with him, and insolent things they please. For which reason the prophet Jeremiah came often to them and protested to him and insisted that he must leave off his impieties and transgressions and take care of what was right, and neither give ear to the rulers among whom were wicked men.
You see that? So the prophet, he telling him to not give ear to the rulers.
Yeah.
That's it, bro.
But you got people today, man. I hope Trump get in there. You got Israelites, man, I hope Trump get in there. Like, what we doing? Like, we didn't got this desperate for redemption.
Yeah.
Have we gotten this desperate for redemption that this is what we come to?
That's
The lowest.
Yeah.
That's a sign.
They made the lowest Hebrew, and that's what we return to.
Mm-hmm.
This brother got more felonies than me, man. And he's still not talking about president.
Right. Jeremiah telling, hey, don't give ear to the rulers among whom were wicked men.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, bro.
Lord, give credit to their false prophets who deluded them as if the king of Babylon would make no more war against them, as if the Egyptians would make war against him and conquer him, since what they said was not true, and the events would not prove such as they expected. Now, as Zedekiah himself, while he heard the prophets speak, he believed them and agreed to everything as true, and supposed it was for his advantage. But then his friends perverted him and dissuaded him from what the prophet advised, and obliged him to do what they pleased. Ezekiel also foretold in Babylon what calamities were coming upon the people, which when he heard, he sent accounts of them unto Jerusalem. But Zedekiah did not believe their prophecies for the reason following. It happened that the two prophets agreed with one another in what they said, as in all other things, that the city should be taken, and Zedekiah himself should be taken captive. But Ezekiel disagreed with him and said that Zedekiah should not see Babylon, while Jeremiah said to him that the king of Babylon should carry him away thither in bonds and be.
I don't know what that is right there.
Yeah,
I think that's a typo. Somebody got tired and fell asleep right there or something. Let's go to 3.
Now, when Zedekiah had preserved the league of mutual assistance he had made with the Babylonians for 8 years, he brake it and revolted to the Egyptians in hopes by their assistance of overcoming the Babylonians. Man, they love Egypt, man. Goodness.
Yeah, we still love Egypt. Where we at, bro? We still love Egypt. Man. Look, mentally, our people never left Egypt.
That's right.
Mentally, our people never left Egypt. So in the scriptures, y'all, when we read in the scriptures, we see the prediction, the prophecy of, you know what I'm saying, what's gonna happen. Now, and the scripture kind of break all this down too. You get into Isaiah, First Kings, and all that. It break it down. And this is going to even more kind of detailed day-to-day account of what led up to the prophecy of Babylon taking us over coming true. All right, go ahead. So you see nations making alliances with each other. You know what I'm saying? Alliances being broken. Wars about to be pop off because of certain alliances being broken. Man, look, same thing we see today.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, bro.
When the king of Babylon knew this, he made war against him. He laid his country waste and took his fortified towns and came to the city of Jerusalem itself to besiege it. But when the king of Egypt heard what the circumstance Zedekiah, his ally, was in, he took a great army with him and came to Judea. And if he would raise the siege, upon which the king Babylon departed from Jerusalem and met the Egyptians and joined battle with them and beat them. And when he had put them to flight, he pursued them and drove them out of all Syria. Now, as soon as the king of Babylon was departed from Jerusalem, the false prophets deceived Zedekiah and said that the king of Babylon would not anymore make war against him or his people, nor remove them out of their country into Babylon, and that those then in captivity would return with all those vessels of the temple of which the king of Babylon had despoiled the temple. But Jeremiah came among them and prophesied what contradicted those predictions, and what proved to be true, that they did ill and deluded the king, that the Egyptians would be of no advantage to them, but that the king of Babylon would renew the war against Jerusalem and besiege it again, and to destroy the people by famine, and carry away those that remain into captivity, and would take away what they had as spoils, and would carry off those riches that were in the temple. Nay, that besides this, he would burn it and utterly overthrow the city, and that they should serve him and his prosperity 70 years. That then the Persians and the Medes should put an end to their servitude.
You see that? That's Sirach 10 and 8 right there. Unrighteous dealings, riches gotten by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one to another. You see, we read last week that righteousness establishes the throne.
Yes, sir.
Right? And the throne of iniquity won't have fellowship with the Most High. That's Psalms 94 and like verse 20, I believe. We read that last week. All right, go ahead.
And that we shall be dismissed and return to this land and rebuild the temple and restore Jerusalem. When Jeremiah said this, the greater part believed him, but the rulers and those that were wicked despised him as one disordered in his senses. Now he had resolved to go elsewhere to his own country, which was called Anathoth, and was 20 furlongs distant from Jerusalem. And as he was going, one of the rulers met him and seized upon him and accused him falsely, as though he were going as a deserter to the Babylonians. But Jeremiah said that he accused him falsely and added that he was only going to his own country. But the other would not believe him, but seized upon him and led him away to the rulers and laid an accusation against him, under whom he endured all sorts of torments and tortures and was reserved to be punished. And this was the condition he was in for some time, while he suffered what I have already described unjustly.
All right, that was it on that. Let's go to the next one. We're finna go down to, let me see what I want to do. If I want to go there. I actually want to kind of touch on because I'm touching on different ones, and I want to touch on every one I got. I don't want to spend too much time on one captivity. We got a good gist on that one. Let me see. All right, so y'all, well, I'll tell y'all what I do. Write this one down, because this one what I had next, but it's gonna be too long. I had the next one, 10 and 8, book 10 and 8, and it says, I'm gonna read the subtitle. I'm just gonna read the subtitle. And it says, how the king of Babylon took Jerusalem and burnt the temple and removed the people of Jerusalem and Zedekiah of Babylon, as also who they were that had succeeded in the high priesthood under the kings. All right, so now let's go to book 11 now, Hebrew. We're finna go to book 11. Book 11. Let's do one. All right. So we on Cyrus. We jumping to the next captivity, y'all. This says, this is book 11 and 1. It says, how Cyrus, the king of the Persians, delivered the Jews out of Babylon and suffered them to return to their own country and to build their temple, for which work he gave them money. Now this was one of the good ones.
Yeah, he called him his anointed.
Look, now if you we was to go vote for any of them, if he was running and this was the legislation,
right?
If we could line this up with prophecy, you got my vote.
Yeah.
If that's how we had to go about it. Brother Rad, what's up, bro? Long time no hear from Hebrew. Shabbat shalom. But yeah, so look, and this is one of the good ones, but are we gonna read that our people was, yes, Cyrus, we love you, Cyrus, thank you, Cyrus, or was it just like, appreciate it, all right, see you later? And we on about our business serving our Elohim.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get into this. Let's get into this captivity and see what the affairs with the Israelites was up under this one, Hebrew.
Okay.
Pick it up at 1.
All right. In the first year of the reign of Cyrus, which was the 70th from the day that our people were removed out of their own land into Babylon, Elohim commiserated the captivity and calamity of these poor people, according as he had foretold to them by Jeremiah the prophet before the destruction of the city, that after they had served Nebuchadnezzar in his prosperity, and after they had undergone that servitude 70 years, he would restore them again to the land of their fathers, and they should build their temple and enjoy their ancient prosperity. And these things Elohim did afford them, for he stirred up the mind of Cyrus and made him write this throughout all Asia. Thus said Cyrus the king, since Elohim Almighty hath appointed me to be king of the inhabited earth, I believe that he is that Elohim which the nation of the Israelites worship. For indeed he foretold my name by the prophets, and that I should build him a house at Jerusalem in the country of Judea.
All right, so now a characteristic of what we would call a good king, I'm using air quotes, good.
Right.
It's a king that recognizes our power and the scriptures, and recognize the scriptures as the word of the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Ain't now one of these kings doing that today.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They get sworn in, put their hand on the Bible, and then they proceed to pass all type of legislation that goes against it.
Mm-hmm.
What you voting for them for? What you endorsing them for? What you speaking glowingly of them for? That's a wicked king. He on the hit list of the Most High,
Hey,
and you support him.
Say, I saw an interview that Pink one did, and they was asking him had he ever repented for his sins. He's like, no, I don't think I ever have. He's like, if I do something wrong, I just try not to do it no more. I'm like, the man wicked as hell, dude.
Yeah, but hey, that's who Bruce love. Cause you know why? Cause I made a lot of money when Trump was in office.
They coming back for it.
So you all about the money. Lord, sound like the member. Go ahead, bro.
This was I'm at 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was known to Cyrus by his reading the book which Isaiah left behind him of his prophecies. For this prophet said that Elohim has spoken thus to him in a secret vision. My will is that Cyrus, whom I have appointed to be king over many and great nations, send back my people to their own land and build my temple. This was foretold by Isaiah 140 years before the temple was demolished.
So he give us a time. He give us a time period on that, right? He said that was foretold by Isaiah 140 years before the temple was demolished. Go ahead, bro. Look, these nuggets. Look, y'all can go back in y'all scripture and jot this down by the prophecy.
Right.
It's just another piece of information you add to your library up here. Go ahead, bro.
Accordingly, when Cyrus read this and admired the divine power and earnest desire and ambition seized upon him to fulfill what was so written. So he called for the most eminent Jews that were in Babylon and said to them that he gave them leave to go back to their own country and to rebuild their city Jerusalem and the temple of Elohim, for that he would be their assistant and that he would write to the rulers and governors that were in the neighborhood of their country of Judea, that they should contribute to them gold and silver for the building of the temple, and besides that, beasts for their sacrifices.
Man, what presidential candidate has made these accommodations for us? Which one? Which one? Obama?
Man, get out of here.
Which one?
But you know, Lincoln freed the slaves. They gonna go to
and they was still in the land where they was scattered.
Right. They gonna go to Lincoln. They gonna go to Kennedy. Them two they always try to bring up. Them two they always try to bring up.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
When Cyrus had said this to the Israelites, the rulers of the two tribes of Judea and Benjamin, with the Levites and priests, went in haste to Jerusalem. Yet did many of them stay at Babylon, as not willing to leave their possessions. And when they were come thither, all the kings
did we lose the spot? Okay, there we go. Boom.
friends assisted them and brought in for the building of the temple some gold and some silver, and some a great many cattle and horses. So they performed their vows to Elohim and offered the sacrifices that had been accustomed to old time. I mean this upon the rebuilding of their city and the revival of the ancient practices related to their worship. Cyrus also sent back to them the vessels of Elohim which King Nebuchadnezzar had pillaged out of the temple and had carried to Babylon. So he committed these things to Mithridates.
Let's try it back on. Yeah.
To be sent away with an order to give to Sennabassar that he might keep them till the temple was built. And when it was finished, he might deliver them to the priests and rulers of the multitude in order to their being restored to the temple. Cyrus also sent an epistle to the governors that were in Syria, the contents whereof here follow. King Cyrus to Sisines and Sethrabusanes.
Yeah, there you go, bro. Good job.
I'll pull that one up. I have given leave to as many of the Jews that dwell in my country as please to return to their own country.
Yeah, this is the type of legislation I like, Hebrew. This is the type of legislation I like to see passed. Y'all can return back to y'all land, rebuild y'all city.
Right.
We gonna send y'all the bread. Don't even worry about the money.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead.
And to build the temple of Elohim at Jerusalem on the same place where it was before. I have also sent my treasurer Mithridates, I'm gonna just leave that at that. Zorobabel, the governor of the Jews, that they may lay the foundation of the temple and may build it 60 cubits high, and of the same latitude, making 3 edifices of polished stones, and one of the wood of the country, and the same extended altar on where they offer sacrifices to Elohim. I require also that the expenses for these things may be given out of my revenue.
The Department of Revenue. Right? See? Look, all we gotta do is put 2 and 2 together. It's the same thing, bro. Like, this the legislation that if you was to vote for a presidential candidate,
right?
This is the type of legislation because this lines up with prophecy.
Yes, sir.
Right? Go ahead.
Moreover, I have also sent the vessels which King Nebuchadnezzar pillaged out of the temple, and have given them to Mithridates, the treasurer, and to Zerubbabel, the governor of the Jews, that they may have them carried to Jerusalem and may restore them to the temple of Elohim. Now their number is as follows: 50 charges of gold, 500 of silver, 40 thericline cups of gold, and 500 of silver, 50 basins of gold, and 500 of silver, 30 vessels for pouring the drink offering, and 300 of silver, 30 vials of gold, and 2,400 of silver, with 1,000 other large vessels. I permit them to have the same honor which they were used to have from their forefathers, as also their small cattle, and for wine and oil 205,500 drachmae, and for wheat flour 20,500 artabae. And I give order that these expenses shall be given them out of the tributes due from Samaria.
So the taxpayers got to pay for this.
That's right, give back.
You see that? The same thing you see today. But look, but only this time it's to benefit us.
Yes, sir.
When the last time that happened in America? They prioritize every minority group but us.
Yes, sir. All right, if you don't believe that, just ride through Memphis.
That's right, Sister Shemai. That's a stimulus. That sure is. Yeah, Hebrew. You see that Department of Revenue, Hebrew, the IRS.
Yeah.
The IRS. Go ahead, bro.
The priest shall also offer these sacrifices according to the laws of Moses at Jerusalem. When they offer them, they shall pray to Elohim for the preservation of the king and of his family, that the kingdom of Persia may continue. But my will is that those who disobey these injunctions and make them void shall be hung upon a cross, and their substance brought into the king's treasury. And such was the import of this epistle.
And so we see another characteristic of, I would say, a king worth voting for. If you was to go do it, it's a king that recognizes who truly holds the power. You see that? He said that they shall pray to God for the preservation of the king and his family, that the king of Persia may continue.
Yeah.
So he not like Nebuchadnezzar, who had to be humble, and we know what the Most High did to him to humble him. So don't none of these kings you see today, they don't give reverence to the true power of the earth.
No, sir.
They don't create legislation and laws that'll benefit his people, that'll allow his people to live easier in their captivity, like this one did. Right? So stop it. Stop twerking for Trump. Right? Because he not doing this. All right. Was that 3?
Well, we got a little bit at that end if you want to read that.
Okay, yeah, finish it out, bro.
Now the number of those that came out of captivity to Jerusalem were 42,462.
All right, let's go right to 11:2. Right here, it says, how upon the death of Cyrus, the Jews were hindered in building of the temple by the Kuthians and the neighboring. Look at that, by the neighboring governors. And how Cambyses, Hebrew, you're just gonna have to do your best with these names, because that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Cambyses entirely forbade the Jews to do any such thing. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
When the foundations of the temple were laying, and when the Jews were very zealous about building it, the neighboring nation, and especially the Kuthians, whom Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, had brought out of Persia and Media, and had planted in Samaria, when he carried the people of Israel captives, besought the governors and those that had the care of such affairs that they should interrupt the Jews in the rebuilding of their city and in the building of their temple. Now these men were corrupted by them with money. They sold the Kuthians their interest for rendering this building a slow and a careless work. For Cyrus, who was busy about other wars, knew nothing of all this. And it so happened that when he had led his army against the Massagate, I'm gonna get it.
Massageti, I guess.
Yeah, he extended his life. But
Mm.
when Cambius, the son of Cyrus, had taken the kingdom, the governors in Syria and Phoenicia, in the countries of Ammon and Moab, the Samaria, wrote an epistle to Cambyses, whose contents were as follows: To our Lord Cambius, we thy servants, Rathumus, the historiographer, and Simulus, the scribe, and the rest that are thy judge in Syria and Phoenicia, saying, Greeting. It is fit, O king, that thou should know that those Jews which were carried to Babylon are come into our country and are building that rebellious and wicked city. And it marketplaces and setting up its walls.
So it was basically what you would know modernized. Well, this was an ancient Black Wall Street movement for us. You see that not only was we going back to set up the temple, he said they're going to set up marketplaces, outlet stores.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We setting up the walls for protection of the city.
Yeah.
Whole good.
The whole nine.
Yeah.
And guess what? Just like they did Black Wall Street, they came and bombed Black Wall Street.
Oh, yeah.
And before Black Wall Street, Orange Mound was booming like that, was progressive like that. Guess what they did? Flooded it with drugs. Yeah, Orange Mound was a small Black Wall Street.
Yeah, I'd have heard, brother.
Oh, guess what? Flooded with crack.
Yep.
Man, you know Black Wall Street had their own airport and everything, man.
Yep. Hey, look. So these heathens right here, they doing the same thing. We want to organize and get together amongst ourselves for the betterment of ourselves, and these heathens want to stop it.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing changed, Hebrew. Go ahead.
And raising up the temple, know therefore that when these things are finished, they will not be willing to pay tribute, nor will they submit to thy commands, but will resist kings and will choose rather to rule over others than be ruled over themselves. We therefore thought it proper to write to thee, O king, while the works about the temple are going on so fast, and not to overlook this matter, that thou mayest search into the books of thy fathers, for thou wilt find in them that the Jews have been rebels and enemies to kings, as hath their city been also, which for that reason have been till now laid waste. We thought proper also to inform thee of this matter, because thou mayest otherwise perhaps be ignorant of it, that if this city be once inhabited and be entirely encompassed with walls, thou wilt be excluded from thy passage to Caesarea and Phoenicia. When Cambius, I'm gonna just call him that, read the epistle, being naturally wicked, he was irritated at what they told him and wrote back to them as followed: Cambius the king and Rathumus the historiographer, to Beon Tethamus, to Simelius, the scribe, and the rest that are in commission and dwelling in Samaria and Phoenicia. After this manner I read the epistle that was sent from you, and I gave order that the books of my forefathers should be searched into. And it is there found that this city hath always been an enemy to kings, and inhabitants have raised sedition and wars, also are sensible to their kings, have been powerful and tyrannical, and have extracted tribute of Caesarea and Phoenicia, Wherefore I gave order that the Jews shall not be permitted to build that city, that such mischief as they used to bring upon kings be greatly augmented. When this epistle was read, Rathumus and Semelius, the scribe, and their associates got suddenly on horseback and made haste to Jerusalem. They also brought a great company with them and forbade the Jews to build the city and the temple. Accordingly, these works were hindered from going on till the second year of the reign of Darius, for 9 years more. For Cambius reigned 6 years, and within that time overthrew Egypt, and when he was come back, he died at Damascus.
Man, for 9 years, them heathens, you know, was whooping us with the pen and paper to keep us from organizing amongst ourselves.
That's all it was, King.
That's all it was, Hebrew.
Writing them letters.
Pen and paper with the FBI. No more Black Messiah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still whooping us with the pen and paper.
Yeah. No more Black Messiah. They put that executive order in.
Man. All right. So that was the end of that. Let's go to the next one. This one long too. Dang. See, I'm gonna have to start doing. I'm gonna have to start catching. Break the books down a little bit better than this, because I ain't want to get hung up on one and not get to the other one. So the other one I had down here, y'all, 11 and 4. Let's just go read the subtitle. I had 11 and 4 down here, and we was gonna read like 1 through 8 on this one. This one was pretty long. Let's see. Let's get down to it. 4. Okay, here 11 and 4 says how the temple was built while the Kuthians endeavor in vain to obstruct the work. So we was gonna get into that. But let's get into the next one. I got the rest of them in my notes section on my phone, y'all. Hold on. Let's go to 11 and 8. Nah, that one long too. This is look, bro. Yeah, we gonna come back, revisit this. Like I said, I throw this in between the back to the basic lessons. You know what I'm saying? I do for a little switch up there once in a while till we get through most of them. Cause there's some real interesting stuff in these. Let's go. Let's scroll down and see what that subtitle says on 8. On 8, it says concerning Sanballat and Manasseh and the temple which they built on Mount Gerizim. Also, how Alexander made his entry into the city Jerusalem, and what benefits he bestowed upon the Jews. You know what? Let's read a little bit of this. Because this is a whole different captivity right here. This the Greeks. This one Alexander, you know what I'm saying, was doing his thing.
Yeah.
So Hebrew, I got 1 through 8. We not gonna read 1 through 8. We just gonna read.
And let's read it
to whatever's sufficient. You know what I'm saying? Because the one after this was Herod. And I kind of wanted to, that's the one I really wanted us to get into. We might have to do that one another time. So we'll just finish out with this right here, Hebrew. Let's just finish out with Alexander.
Okay.
All right.
So verse 1.
Yeah.
About this time, it was that Philip, king of Macedon, was treacherously assaulted and slain at Ege by Pausanians, the son of Serates, who was delivered from the family of. Yeah, we should have skipped this one. Orestes. And his son Alexander succeeded him in the kingdom, who passing over the Hellespont overcame the generals of Darius' army in a battle fought at Granicum.
Vinicia.
Yeah.
This is why, hey, if you enjoy history, you should be enjoying this right now, because now you getting background on how Alexander rose to power, which we don't get that in the scripture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We just get the prophecy of the Greek kingdom rising and falling. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to know this stuff, right? It's good to know this stuff.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Some of it you can see in the 66, because the last guy you were talking about, Sanballat, you know, you can read about him in the 66. He went over there and basically told him, you know, you ain't got nothing to do with it. You can get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Build another temple. But yeah, some of these names I do recognize.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
hey, they cheering you on in the chat, bro. They got your back.
All praise to the Most High.
All praise.
I'm hanging in there, man. I'm swinging it. So Alexander succeeded him in the kingdom, who passing over the Hellespont, overcame the generals of Darius' army in a battle fought at Granicum. So he marched over Lydia and subdued Iona and overran Caria and fell upon the places of Pamphylia, as has been related elsewhere.
My bad. Go ahead, bro.
But the elders of Jerusalem, being very uneasy that the brother of Judea, the high priest, Jadadu, the high priest, though married to a foreigner.
Man, but you see what be going on in Israel, you know, just behind the scenes with the stuff we can't read about in the 66.
Yeah.
You had high priest married foreigners. That's right there in bold letters in Leviticus 21.
Come on, bro.
Hey, King, when he said for those who wanted to go back, the 42,000, he's like, the rest of them didn't want to come back because they had family there. They had married them other women and had family. They didn't want to separate from them.
Yep. They sure
did. Y'all gotta leave them women here, man. Y'all can't bring them children and all that with you.
Facts. That's hard too. The people look at that today. They just gonna leave them women with them kids.
Choose up a loser. Choose up a loser. You can't have it all.
He told them to leave. What man of God would have told them?
Choose up a loser.
You know how it go.
Yep.
Go ahead, bro.
But the elders of Jerusalem, being very uneasy with the brother of Jaddu, the high priest, though married to a foreigner, should be a partner with him in the high priesthood, quarrel with him, for they esteem this man's marriage a step to such as should be desirous of transgressing about the marriage of strange wives, and that this would be the beginning of a mutual society with foreigners. Although the offense of some about marriage.
Look at this. This sounds like these Negroes today. Yeah.
You see that, They want to blend in.
Yeah.
And they're going to say there's going to be a step for us to come together.
But see, this is the effects of being in captivity.
Yes, sir.
Look, this is the mindset on the people today.
You the high priest, man. When the head bad, the body bad.
Man, look, the high priest, y'all, talking about an ancient version of what they call it, not segregation.
Oh, integration.
Integration.
Yeah. I have a dream.
Yeah, this just might as well have been that Negro back in the day.
Little white boys and little black girls. Hold hands together.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy, y'all. And this is a high priest thinking like this. Captivity had did a number on this brother. To the point to where, because and you will see Negroes with heathen wives today try to pull that same as well. You know, man, Negroes with white wives, they be the main ones saying, well, you know, I don't really see color. See, you got to adopt that mindset because of who you with now. That's to not offend them.
Yeah, you may be sitting up saying it, but they see color.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, every time you go somewhere with it, around her people, they see color.
Yeah.
Right there.
You
That
ain't
right
lying.
there. The man in charge of the law, in charge of the atonement,
Yeah.
strictly told not to marry foreign women. Well, he's gonna get us all together. No, you just got hot in your loins on a heathen woman.
Yeah.
Right.
That's sorry, man. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Although the offense of some about marriages and their having married wives that were not of their own country have been an occasion of their former captivity and of the miseries they then underwent. So they commanded Manasseh to divorce his wife or not to approach the altar. The high priest himself joining with the people in their indignation against his brother and driving him away from the altar. Whereupon Manasseh came to his father-in-law Sanballat and told him that although he loved his daughter Nicaso, yet was he not willing to be deprived of his sequatorial dignity on her account, which was the principal dignity in their nation.
See, so, hey, the Brews gave that, but hey, they said, if you want to be with that heathen, don't bring your rear end near their altar no more.
Yeah.
So now he had to make a decision.
Yeah.
Probably
man, I brought your daughter back.
But let's read. Let's see what happened. Let's go.
Okay, so
that boy say, hey, y'all, we got to be nice to these heathens now.
Yeah. Because you the tough one.
Look, go figure the Negro with the heathen wife telling us we got to be nice to these heathens.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
And always continue in the same family. And then Sanballat promised him not.
My bad. Okay, boom.
Promised him not only to preserve to him the honor of his priesthood, but to procure for him the power and dignity of a high priest, and would make him governor of all the places he himself now ruled, if he would keep his daughter for his wife.
Now see, you offer a Negro like that some worldly possessions, he gonna fold 9 times out of 10.
Man.
He didn't already folded on keeping the law and marrying the heathen woman.
Yeah.
Being the high priest.
All right, go ahead, Hebrew. Let's see how this story unfolds. Go ahead.
He also told him further that he would build him a temple like that at Jerusalem, upon Mount Gerizim, which is the highest of all the mountains that are in Samaria. And he promised that he would do this with the approbation of Darius the king. Manasseh was elevated with these promises and strayed with Sanballat upon a proposal that he should gain a high priesthood and bestowed on him by Darius. For it happened that Sanballat was then in years. But there was now a great disturbance among the people of Jerusalem, because many of those priests and Levites were entangled in such matches, for they all revolted to Manasseh, and Sanballat offered them money and divided among them land for tillage and habitation also, and all this in order every way to gratify his son-in-law. Sell out.
All right, let's keep going. Hebrew. Let's do 3.
Okay, about this time, it was that Darius heard how Alexander had passed over the Hellespont and had beaten his lieutenants in the battle at Granicum, and was proceeding further, whereupon he gathered together an army of horse and foot and determined that he would meet the Macedonians before they should assault and conquer all Asia, So he passed over the river Euphrates and came to Taros, the Sicilian mountain, and the Isthmus of Sicilia. He waited for the enemy, as ready there to give him battle, upon which Sanballat was glad that Darius was come down, and told Manasseh that he would suddenly perform his promises to him, and this as soon as ever Darius should come back, after he had beaten his enemies, for not he only, but all those that were in Asia also were persuaded that the Macedonians would not so much as come to the battle with the Persians on account of their multitude. But the event proved otherwise than they expected, for the king joined battle with the Macedonians, and when beaten and lost a great part of his army, his mother also and his wife and children were taken captives, and he fled to Persia. So Alexander came to Syria and took Damascus. And when he had obtained Sidon, he besieged Tyre, when he sent an epistle to the Jewish high priest to send him some auxiliaries and to supply his army with provisions, and that what present he formerly sent to Darius, he would now send to him, and choose a friendship of the Macedonians, and he should never repent of so doing. But the high priest answered the messengers that he had given his oath to Darius not to bear arms against him. And he said that he would not transgress this while Darius was in the land of the living. Upon hearing this answer, Alexander was very angry. And though he determined not to leave Tyre, which was just ready to be taken, yet as soon as he had taken it, he threatened that he would make an expedition against the Jewish high priest, and through him teach all men to whom they must keep their oaths. So when he had with a good deal of pains during the siege taken Tyre, and had settled its affairs, he came to the city of Gaza, and besieged both the city and him that was governor of the garrison, whose name was Babames.
All right, we can go on to 4 Hebrew.
Okay, but Sanballat thought he had now gotten a proper opportunity to make his attempt. So he renounced Darius, and taking with him 7,000 of his own subjects, he came to Alexander, and finding him beginning to seize Tyre, he said to him that he delivered up to him these men who came out of places under his dominion, and did gladly accept of him, for his lord insisted of Darius. So when Alexander had received him kindly, Sanballat thereupon took courage and spake to him about his present affair. He told him that he had a son-in-law, Manasseh, who was brother to the high priest Jaddua, and that there were many other of his own nation. Now with him that were desirous to have a temple in the place subject to him, that it would not be for the king advantage to have the strength of the Jews divided into the 2 parts, lest when the nation is of one mind and united, any attempts for innovation troublesome to king. Yeah.
There it is right there.
Yes, sir.
Hey, all these heathens, if you read the scriptures, that's the common fear of all these heathen nations. We do not want this people on one accord.
United, yeah.
He said it would be for the king's advantage. So it's for the advantage of the kings that's ruling over us to keep us divided. Look at that. He said, but to have the strength of the Jews divided into 2 parts. This when the nation is of one mind and united upon any attempt for innovation. He said, these some innovative human beings.
Yes.
We innovative individually. Imagine if this whole nation, if it wasn't one wicked Negro amongst us, man, these heathens would be trembling in fear right now.
Mm-hmm.
You think they scared of you now, man? Look at, hey, peep that though. Don't forget that, Israel. That's what these heathens fear right there. You just read it for yourself tonight. Go ahead, bro.
That it proved troublesome to kings, as it had formerly proved to the kings of Assyria, whereupon Alexander gave Sanballat leave so to do, who used the utmost diligence and built the temple and made Manasseh the priest, and deemed it a great reward that his daughter's children should have their dignity. But when the 7th month of the siege of Tyre were over, and the 2 months of the siege of Gaza, Sanballat died. Now Alexander, when he had taken Gaza, made haste to go up to Jerusalem, and Jaddua, the high priest, when he heard that, was in an agony and under terror, as not knowing how he should meet the Macedonians, since the king was displeased at his foregoing disobedience. He therefore ordained that the people should make supplications and should join with him in offering sacrifice to Elohim, whom he besought to protect the nation, and to deliver them from the perils that were coming upon them. Whereupon Elohim warned him in a dream, which came upon him after he had offered sacrifices, that he should take courage and adorn the city and open the gates, that the rest should appear in white garments, but that he and the priest should meet the king in the habits proper to their order, without the dread of any ill consequences, which the providence of Elohim would prevent. Upon which, when he rose from his sleep, he greatly rejoiced and declared to all the warning he had received from Elohim, according which dream he acted entirely and waited for the coming of the king.
Go ahead, bro.
And when he understood that he was not far from the city, he went out in procession with the priests and the multitude of the citizens. The processions were venerable, and the manner of it different from that of other nations. It reached to a place called Sapa, which name translated in Greek signifies a prospect, for you have thence a prospect both of Jerusalem and of the temple. And when the Phoenicians and the Chaldeans that followed him thought they should have liberty to plunder the city and torment the high priest to death, which the king displeasure fairly promised them, the very reverse of it happened. For Alexander, when he saw the multitude at a distance in white garments, while the priest stood clothed with fine linen, and the high priest in purple and scarlet clothing, with the mitre on his head, having a golden plate whereupon the name of Elohim was engraved, he approached by himself and adorned that name, and first saluted the high priest. The Jews also did all together with one voice salute Alexander and encompass him about, whereupon the king of Syria and the rest were surprised at what Alexander had done.
You see that? So, hey, you salute us, we salute you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we want at this man's feet. Oh, thank you for showing us a nice, kind gesture, Mr. Heathen, and you got our vote. You got our vote. Man, they weren't doing all that.
And I see why Alexander died so young. Man, he ain't do nothing but fight.
Yep, that's all he did.
God dog, man.
Yep, that's all he did. Hey, look, he saluted up. We salute you back, man.
Yeah.
You know, go on about your business now. You know, don't linger around too long. Go ahead, bro.
And suppose him disorder in his mind. However, Parmenio alone went up to him and asked him how it came to pass that when all others adored him, he should adore the high priest of the Jews. To whom he replied, I did not adore him, but that Elohim who hath honored him with his high priesthood. For I saw this very person in a dream, in this very habit, when I was at Dios in Macedonia, who, when I considering with myself how I might obtain the dominion of Asia, exhorted me to make no delay, but boldly to pass over the sea thither, for that he would conduct my army, and would give me the dominion over the Persians, whence it is that, having seen no other in that habit, and now seeing this person in it, and remembering that vision and the exhortation which I had in my dream, I believe that I bring this army under the divine conduct, and shall therewith conquer Darius and destroy the power of the Persians, and that all things will succeed according to what is in my own mind. And when he had said this to Hermenio, and had given the high priest his right hand, the priest ran along by him, and he came into the city. And when he went up into the temple, he offered sacrifice to Elohim according to the high priest's direction, and magnificently treated both the high priest and the priest. And when the book of Daniel was showed him, wherein Daniel declared that one of the Greeks should destroy the empire of the Persians, he supposed that himself was the person intended.
Y'all see how things playing out? The things that's written played out back then. So, hey, that's the prophecy of what? The he-goat?
Yeah.
The rough goat,
The rough goat. You know, it said that one met one with cola. One had cola against another.
Yellow angle, that boy.
Yep. So this is how it all played out. Go ahead, bro.
And as he was then glad, he dismissed the multitude for the present. But the next day he called them to him and bid them ask what favors they pleased of him. Whereupon the high priest desired that they might enjoy the laws of their forefathers and might pay no tribute on the 7th year. Granted all they desired, and when they entreated him that he should permit the Jews in Babylon and Media to enjoy their own laws also.
Look at the legislation Alexander passing. See, we really didn't have it hard under the Greeks until his kingdom split.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And even when it split, when we was under certain generals, because he going to the generals that ruled before Antiochus, he going to that. Look, hey, they let us build cities and let us become citizens of those cities that we built. And then when Antiochus came around, that's when it got bad for us under the Greeks.
Epiphathang.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Ru.
Whereupon the high priest desired that they might enjoy the laws of their forefathers and pay no tribute the 7 years, he granted all they desired. And when they entreated him that he would permit the Jews in Babylon and Media to enjoy their own laws also, he willingly promised to do hereafter what they desired. And when he had said to the multitude that if any of them would enlist themselves in his army on this condition, that they should continue under the laws of their forefathers and live according to them, he was willing to take them with him. Many were ready to accompany him in his wars.
You see that? Hey, so if you wanted to enlist yourself in Alexander's army, you still got to abide by your God's laws. These heathens don't do that when you enlisted in the army. Now you on their rules, on their time, do what they say. They don't give a damn that you keep Shabbat. They gonna have you out there running, doing whatever they do on the side. So if you was in Alexander's army and you kept Shabbat, on the Shabbat, you didn't have to go out there and train.
Right.
You didn't eat what the rest of the army ate if you was an Israelite in his army.
Yeah.
See, these heathens not doing what Cyrus and Alexander did for us.
Right.
All right, they all in with Babylon. 6 Hebrew.
So when Alexander had thus settled matters at Jerusalem, he led his army into the neighboring cities. And when all the inhabitants to whom he came received him with great kindness, the Samaritans who had then Shechem for their metropolis, a city situate at Mount Gerizim, and inhabited by apostates of the Jewish nation, seeing that Alexander had so greatly honored the Jews, determined to profess themselves Jews.
Yeah. Hey, this is a little background on the Samaritans, y'all. So who was the king in I believe it's First and Second Kings? Who was that brought those foreigners into the land of Samaria, and then they just settled?
That was King Sennacherib from Assyria.
Okay, we read that earlier, didn't we? Yep, there was King Sennacherib. So those are heathens, right? And we even see even in the New Testament, John 4, the lady at the well.
That's right, King.
He was in that city. So now you had heathens that settled there, but then we just read right here, he let you know that it was a city inhabited, a city situated in Mount Gerizim and inhabited by apostate Jews that was close to Samaria.
Yeah.
So you had apostate Jews who didn't keep the law or was caught breaking the law. They would go to this town where they could live how they wanted to live.
And most of them only went there because of the women.
Right.
It was convenient to get down with the women, so they opposed the laws of the command. Right.
So Samaritans, they always wanted to be us. When it was convenient. Now when doom and gloom was surrounding us, they would separate themselves from us. Just like heathens do today. Everybody want to be black till it's time to be black. Right? Everybody want to copy our dances, copy our culture, our talk, our dress, our walk, the way we mannerisms, the way we carry ourselves.
Yeah.
But then when it's time to deal with what we have to deal with,
social and economic issue.
Yeah, I think the culture is pretty cool. That's all I But you will benefit off what we do all day long.
Don't give them the other side of the coin too. The apostate Jews, how they work.
Oh, look.
Give them the other side of that.
I don't know if it's in this. It might not be in the antiquities of the Jews, because he touched on the Samaritans a lot in the wars of the Jews. And I was reading both this week, and I can't remember which one it was. But if what they would do, what Israelites would do, if you was caught breaking the law and you didn't want to get right, they would just move to the town close to the Samaritans so that they can live how they wanted to live.
Sorry, man.
Israel always been sorry.
Yeah.
Let's keep reading. This may be it.
Yeah.
This may be it. Hebrew, pick that back up right here at the top where it says the Samaritans.
Okay. The Samaritans who had then Shechem for their metropolis, a city situate at Mount Gerizim and inhabited by apostates of the Jewish nation, seeing that Alexander had so greatly honored the Jews, determined to profess themselves Jews. For such is the disposition of the Samaritans, as we have already elsewhere declared, that when the Jews are in adversity, they deny that they are of kin to them.
You see that, y'all?
Sorry.
Y'all see that?
Man.
Look, hey,
ain't
nothing new under the sun. This is exactly how these heathens treat us today.
Man, that's sad.
They want to benefit from everything that we do. But in adversity, ain't none of these heathens here to help us.
No, sir.
Go ahead, bro.
And then they confess the truth. But when they perceive that some good fortune hath befallen them, they immediately pretend to have communion with them, saying that they belong to them and derive their genealogy from the prosperity of Joseph, Ephraim, and Manasseh.
That's why the lady in John 4 was like,
she
our fathers worshipped in this mountain.
Right. Yeah.
No, baby, stop.
Yeah.
Yeshua was like, you worship, you don't know what you worship.
That's right.
See, now we understand the background of what we read in the scripture.
Mm-hmm. They had been there so long, through so many generations, they thought they were.
And then you had apostate Jews living amongst
them. They were mixing.
Yeah. So,
man.
Right. See, y'all been here long enough. See, y'all might as well go ahead and say y'all Israelites.
She better be man.
Look. So you had all that working with them Samaritans, man. Them apostate Jews being there didn't make it no better.
They made it worse.
They made because ain't no telling what they feed them out of spite.
Come on,
you see what I'm saying?
That's sad.
And all the while, the Pharisees is coming into power with their own thing.
Yep.
That whole time doing it right.
Yeah. So it ain't no telling what the apostate Jews was feeding the Samaritans out of spite, because the real Israelites ran they butt off because of their law breaking.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So they probably tell them, yeah, man, them niggas probably ain't the real Israelites anyway. What? Why can't y'all be Israel? You see?
And that's another reason why that matriarchal garbage came into effect too. Well, your mother was a Jew.
Yeah,
so that makes you a Jew.
Yeah.
That's where that matriarchal garbage came in too.
Yep. Go ahead.
All right, let me find out where I was.
We went off right here accordingly.
Okay, accordingly,
they
made their address to the king with splendor and showed great alacrity. That's it. Who said that?
That Pops.
Good job, T. And meeting him at a little distance from Jerusalem. And when Alexander had commended them, the Shechemites approached to him, taking with them the troops that Sanballat had sent him. And they desired that they would come to their city and do honor to their temple also, to whom he promised that when he returned, he would come to them. And when they petitioned that he would remit the tribute of 7th year to them, because they did but so thereon, he asked who they were that made such a petition. And when they said that they were Hebrews, but had the name of Sidonians,
you see this guy?
Yeah.
Sidonians, they ain't even Hebrew, they African.
They Hamites.
They Hamites. They worship Baal and Ashtaroth. Only Hebrews now.
Everybody want to be us.
Yeah.
I see that. Look, this happening in the ancient world. And you look on TV. Hey, you look on TV, all the white women trying to have y'all aesthetic she-brews.
That's right. That's right. Lips.
The pretty full lip. They get lip fillers. Come on now. We the innovators. They the imitators. Go ahead.
Right. He asked them again whether they were Jews. And when they said they were not Jews, it was not the Jews, said he, that I granted that privilege. However, when I return, I am thoroughly informed by you of this matter. I will do what I shall think proper. And in this manner, he took leave of the Shechelonites, but ordered that the troops of Sanballat should follow him into Egypt, because there he designed to give them lands, which he did a little after in Thebes, when he ordered them to guard that country. Now, when Alexander was dead, the government was parted among his successors, but the temple upon Mount Gerizim remained. And if anyone were accused by those of Jerusalem of having eating things common, or having broken the Sabbath, or any other crime the like nature, he fled away to the
You
Shechemites.
see that? That's what I was talking about right there, y'all.
Boy,
Israel is sorry.
sorry.
Instead of just getting right, this is what Negroes would do.
But check
It's
the
like-
line out, dude.
He say,
They say he was accused unjustly.
Yeah. Boy, Israel, man. Boy.
Sad, man.
Hey, so this what was going on. These are furs of the Israelites
Same Negro today.
up under Alexander the Great, y'all. I seen one brother say he had a kind of different. Now he got a different perspective, a new look on Alexander now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was always taught, like, especially the old class we was in there, he was like wicked. I mean, I'm pretty sure
He was wicked, but the Most High moved on hard to be just to his people.
Right. I didn't know this side of Alexander the Great either, Hebrew. I didn't, to be honest, until I read this. Yeah. All praises, Eliyahu.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point out here.
Yeah.
That's a good point out here.
Yeah.
And to the sister Yashara, Israel, we always want to bring everybody amongst us. Nobody want to bring us amongst them.
Yeah. Well, let's read that part again. That is crazy to me. I tripped out. I laughed out loud when I read this. I said, man, you can't match another people today with the people that you read in this.
That's it.
You can't, but us.
Nobody but us.
That's
And you know, they always say how they covered up.
What?
Well, you know, we black people, we got a forgiving heart. We'll forgive anybody.
That's what they say.
Don't they say that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Boy.
Go ahead. We'll read that part over again. This is how sorry our people is, y'all.
Okay, now when Alexander was dead, the government was parted among his successors, but the temple upon Mount Gerizim remained. And if anyone were accused by those of Jerusalem of having eating things common or having broken the Sabbath.
Nigga telling me I can't eat no pork, man. I bet you I'm finna go to Shechem. I bet you they'll let me eat it over there.
Man, they got some good looking women over there too.
Yeah. The niggas always on your back about what you eat. Can't eat this, can't eat that. Well, I'm finna go to Shechem.
Shechem, man, they have temple order.
Go to Shechem, man. It's too strict over here, man. Let's go to Shechem.
On the Shabbat.
Shechem. Well, that sound like an ancient strip club.
Yes,
Shechem.
You got some shackles, you can go to shackles.
You got your shackles, you can come to shackles. Go ahead.
Or of any other crime of the like nature, he fled away to the Shechemites and said that he was accused unjustly. About this time, it was that Jaddua, the high priest, died. And Onias, his son, took the high priesthood. This was the state of the affairs of the people of Jerusalem.
Now, you know who Onias is?
Onias, we read about him in the Apocrypha.
In the Maccabees, the sellout Negro. But that the sellout Negro?
Onias, he was righteous. He was one of the righteous.
Who was the one that sold? He came.
Was his name Jonathan or?
It was Jonathan. You right.
Yeah.
He tried to take down Onias with Antiochus. Yeah, that's right. Thank you for that, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
So this is a nice piece of nugget little information right here about Onias. I didn't know that his daddy was a wicked high priest, just based off how Onias was in the scripture. He was a righteous man.
Right. You saw what Michael did.
Right. But I didn't know he came from a father that was a wicked high priest. I didn't know that. But hey, this is when Onias took the priesthood, and we read about him in the Apocrypha. So now we know after Alexander died, his kingdom split, right?
Right.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna end it right there. But I want to read some more of these subtitles that we was gonna get into. We just weren't gonna have enough time to get into it how I wanted to get into it. Let me see what else I got down here. Okay, I got 12. I got 12 and 2. Let's see what the subtitle for 12 and 2 says. So we was going to get into the Ptolemies. We'll get into this next time. It says how Ptolemy Philadelphus procured the laws of the Jews to be translated into the Greek tongue.
Come on, bro.
And set many captives free and dedicated gifts to God.
Right.
All right, I'm finna go to another one I had now. And I might have to do these different. I might just have to do it captivity by captivity. That way I don't leave no details out, and we can just focus the whole class on one. And we can go and get through it all. Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do, y'all. But I'm just gonna go through what I had written down for the night that I want to get through. I had 14 and 14. Let's see what that was said. Now this was started here. It says how Herod got away from the king of Arabia and made haste to go into Egypt, and thence went away in haste also to Rome, and how by promising a great deal of money to Antony, he obtained the Senate and of Caesar to be made king of the Jews. See, hey, we gonna get into it. So in between our BTTB, I'm gonna be coming back and we're gonna have our little history class. We're gonna do this. All right.
Oh, great.
Let me that was 14 and 14. Let me go through the other one. I had 14 and 16. It says how Herod, when he married Mariamne, took Jerusalem with the assistance of Josephus by force. And how the government of the Hasmoneans was put to the end.
He was the one that ended the Hasmonean dynasty.
Yep, Herod was the one who ended the Hasmonean dynasty. I had 15 and 8 down here as well. This is what I was talking about earlier. How 10 men of the citizens of Jerusalem made a conspiracy against Herod. Y'all, this was an assassination attempt. It says for the foreign practices he had introduced, which was a transgression of the laws of their country, concerning the building of Sebasti and Caesarea and other edifices of Herod. Hey, and it even get into how when he first implemented the Olympic Games, how Israelites that really rubbed Israelites the wrong way. They rubbed them the wrong way because of just the nature of the rules of his games violated our rules. Right. And he would give you extra rewards if you participate in the games naked.
Butt naked.
If you was a musician for when they played the music for the different gods, you got an extra stipend.
Oh, diddler stipend.
Yeah. That was 15 and 8, and I think I had one more down here, y'all. Let me see. I had 16 and 1. Let's see what 16 and 1 says.
I think that's wrong, man.
Yep. It says a law of Herod's about thieves, which pissed us off as well. It says Salome and Pherioras, Caluminati, Alexander and Aristobulus, upon their return from Rome, for whom yet Herod provides wise. So where it says right here, a law about Herod's thieves, it was kind of like what we see today, like with the car thieves.
Yeah.
They get caught, they right back out the next day. That was kind of Herod's policy. If you got caught stealing in his kingdom, you just have to move over to the next kingdom. That pissed the Israelites off because we felt like our law of thievery was more perfect and more better for society.
Yeah.
If you was caught stealing, you got to return what you stole fourfold.
That's right.
Or however many fold. So we felt that, hey, you letting people go off too easy, the crime of thievery is just gonna shoot up.
Right.
So hey, we gonna get into it though, y'all. But yeah, I just wanted to go through a few history. I hope somebody got
all praise,
little nuggets. You know what I'm saying?
All praise to the Most High.
All praise to the Most High.
Excellent backdrop to a lot of the scripture that we've already gone over, read so many times. But it was an excellent backdrop, young group. Excellent reading by the elder.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent reading by the elder. He came on through with them names. He got a little Gentile education. But it was an excellent lesson, man. Looking forward to some more backdrop on the history of our people. I know a lot of people some of the things you read in the scriptures, it's kind of cloudy, or it ain't real. You don't get a full picture. So this is kind of putting the pieces of the puzzle together for a lot of people. So excellent backdrop. A lot of good. I was watching the chat. A lot of good comments and extra scripts. Elliot was given to go alongside of what the young brew was trying to impart to the people tonight. So this was an excellent class, interactive class. I enjoyed it.
Yes, sir.
And, I just want to thank the Most High for putting it on the young brother's spirit to do it this way.
All praise,
man.
Hey, and if any other teachers, man, y'all want to tackle one of these captivities, because I can't do it all by myself and do the BTTB now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's a whole lot to juggle right there. So if y'all want to tackle one of these captivities,
we gonna push the spirit, bro.
Y'all, hey, feel free now.
All praise,
feel free, man.
All praise to the Most High. I know, and I just want to say this again. I know I say it all the time, but this is just another instance tonight of the different gifts that the Most High has put in His ministry, the different ways the Most High deal with these teachers over here. We got all types of teachers and all types of gifts out of the Most High using these brothers over here. You getting some of everything and a lot of things over here with this ministry. Not bragging, just recognizing the gifts and the outpouring on the Ruach of the Most High on these brothers and the sisters over here, man. So just want to, y'all got a blessing here. I'm just telling you, because I'm enjoying it. I enjoy these lessons. So all praise to the Most High. I got a couple of quick announcements. I want to say first, man, all praise to the Most High for the brothers and sisters that donated. They came out to the RD last week, man. If y'all couldn't see some of the faces on some of them children, some of them mothers, man, y'all, it would melt your heart. You know what I'm saying? So it was a great event. We didn't even get to move out of one spot. Mm-hmm. The first spot we got to, we ended up being at that one spot. We usually hit several different spots, but it was a beautiful occasion. I want to thank everybody again from all the elders and all the brothers over here, from the bottom of my heart, for what you did as far as donation, whether it be clothes, food, money, whatever it was. Y'all helped us pull it off, and it was a great event. So I want to say thank y'all to everybody on that. Tomorrow we'll be in class. We'll be at the South Haven Library in South Haven, Mississippi. Let me get y'all the address. The address is going to be 8554 Northwest Drive in South Haven, Mississippi. It's the South Haven Library, where it all started for Order Melchizedek. Mm-hmm. As far as coming together as a congregation and as a ministry. We'll be back at the South Haven Library this Shabbat, tomorrow Shabbat afternoon. Y'all want to come out and join us again? That's 8554 Northwest Drive in South Haven, Mississippi. Come out and fellowship with us. Make sure if you can't be there in person, tune in online, like, share, and subscribe all the videos. Still working on getting some more of the playlists together. Y'all can go in there and see some of the playlists we got together. My nephew shot me a lot of the playlists that he had put together himself, so I'll be putting those together as well. So I'm gonna be putting a lot of the playlists together. I'm gonna put all the series by themselves as a separate playlist.
Yeah. And let me say this: I'm gonna rename this class so all these can go together in the playlist.
Yeah, well, if it's gonna be, so do that, because if it's gonna, I want to put everybody's series that they do. I know Amnon, he broke down all the gospels, and now he just broke down all the letters. Now he's going through the gospels. I may put all the letters in one playlist and then all the gospels in a playlist. But if you got a series out there, it's gonna have its own playlist.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I know y'all got a lot of chop sessions, stuff like that. We're gonna put all those in separate playlists. So just trying to make it easier, because like I said, we over 750 lessons. Gonna probably end up before the year out being over 800 lessons. So want to try to make it easy for the people to sift through all those. You know, have to sift through all those lessons. They trying to look up something.
Yeah.
Once again, I want to say, y'all keep us in y'all prayers. We're gonna keep y'all in our prayers. Got the Feast of Dedication coming up. Ironically, the first day falls on December the 25th.
Ain't that
so? We're gonna have a spirit-filled good time, Holy Ghost good time on a pagan holiday, and we celebrate the sacrifice of our ancestors and on the Feast of Dedication. So anybody want to come up, I know we'll be making the announcement, where we're going to be at and when we're going to have it. Won't be able to celebrate all 7 days together collectively, but we will carve out one day to have a feast of dedication at a venue, and we'll keep y'all informed on that as we get closer.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
With that, I'm gonna turn it back over to the brothers.
Man, hey, I think I am gonna bring this back. Like I said, cause shoot, I wasn't even supposed to be up this week. Y'all don't supposed to see me again the next month. But hey, spirit move, gotta strike while the iron hot.
Right.
So I think I'm gonna for sure go ahead and knock this on out for sure. But that's all I got, family. That's all I got, Hebrew. You got something else? You got anything, Hebrew?
No, nothing else, man. One love to the family, man. Peace and blessing. You know, to you and your household, brothers.
Peace and blessings, Hebrew. Peace and blessings to everybody in the chat. One love, Shabbat Shalom. Stay warm. And don't sneak out to the club.
We'll check them out.
We'll go into the area, huh?
Don't go to the club Shechem. Don't let me hear about y'all been in club Shechem. All right, family.
One love, family.
Shalom, family.
Shalom.